welcome to Crunch Time. My name is Jack Bogdan.
My name is Alex Grinlin.
And this is our review of Call of Duty Black Ops. So that was the trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops, and here is some footage from Call of Duty Black Ops.
So Jack, I have not played this yet. You were the one who has played this game.
Yes.
My biggest concern with this game is that I was not a fan of Modern Warfare 2's story. I thought it was a little too out there. Let's see how much crazy shit we can fit into a video game.
Okay.
So, with that in mind, how does this game's story match or compare with that one?
So this is probably the best story that I've played in a Call of Duty game by a long shot. By a long shot. It is not brief segments of craziness only strung together by like a minute of some dude talking about it. It feels like you're progressing from place to place in a logical way. Characters are carrying over. Events are happening. And it's so good. Okay, so story, fantastic. You play Mason, who is an agent being interrogated by anonymous, mysterious men, and they're trying to figure out, through all of your Black Ops programs, about a series of numbers. And you know these numbers, but you're the key to unlocking what the numbers mean. So you are playing through your past while you're hooked up into this chair with like IV and stuff. You can't remember a lot of stuff, but you're piecing it together. They're helping you piece it together. So that's generally the story. I don't want to give away like plot points or anything like that, but this is an early level. I think this is level 2. This is Vorkuta, which plays a significant role in the story, and this is your best bud here. I know the name. It's got OV in it, but I'm blanking out for 1 second. But let me continue. So the story's fantastic. As you saw in the beginning, they had this amazing, really cool art style for the graphics that happen in between story levels, or parts of the level. And the narrative is smart. The art style is so cool. You're doing it's showing things in a unique way that isn't just like boom, this is what happened, and this is also what happened, and like this which kind of like what it felt like in older Call of Duties. This is more of a very distinct. It has a feel of Black Ops. It has the they're writing stuff out on the screen. You saw that earlier when they kind of gave you the mission details and it blacks it out in Sharpie.
Where it's like redacted.
Right, yeah. It's got really cool things going on like that. The weapons, as far as weapons goes, this whole game takes part in the 60s, for the most part. So you're not playing with like state of the art, but there's some really cool stuff that you get to mess around with. You go to crazy locales. I don't know if you can tell from like this brief segment that you've been watching, but it's gorgeous. It's actually one of the prettiest games I've ever seen, period. I was consistently blown away by the level of fidelity and stylized nature of every level. Every level felt like its own unique place, and the sounds were different, and the people acted differently, and there were different props. It was so nice. It is, I mean, it's so intense too. It's not like this, I mean, it's one giant scripted game, pretty much.
Right.
But this seems like it's the most honed version of that. Like they finally found the strategy and they nailed it. Like they ran on all cylinders. It just fired on all cylinders. It was awesome. So I actually can't praise the single player highly enough. It's one of my games of the year as far as games go. I mean, it's definitely up there in the running. And I did not expect to say that because I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan. I like what they did as far as big set pieces go, because this is like one of the only franchises where you get to see like a rocket go off to space while a nuke goes off in the distance and shit like that.
Right.
But this was so well put together, and it actually had thought to it. And you don't only play Mason. There are other characters you play for other periods of time in it. You get differing sides of the same story. So there's a level later on where you play Mason, but then it says after you get to the pivotal moment, it says 20 minutes earlier, and you cut to another character, and you play through it trying to. Oh, it's so cool. So I am totally on board with this. As far as multiplayer goes, it's pretty much like Call of Duty multiplayer from previously. I'm not a huge fan of the multiplayer per se. I prefer some other games, but they added the new purchasing system for all of your upgrades and all of that stuff. It's really cool. You can get
does that work very similarly to how it in like Halo Reach we saw that?
Yeah. You get points and then you spend them. I mean, it's not the crazy second coming, but it's pretty cool.
What do you spend them on? Just weapons?
Weapon upgrades, tags, like different icons and stuff. Like they've everything that you possibly can do to upgrade or you know, anything. Like additions, you can get that in the armory. So that's multiplayer is multiplayer. If you've played the last few games, you're gonna be used to this one. Zombies is also really cool. Again, it's really similar to what we saw in the last outing. What was really significant about this game was the single player and the art style and the feel, and it's really damn cool. There's also some secrets as well. The menu is actually the chair where you're locked in, and if you hit left, right, left, right, left, right on the bumper, you'll stand up from the chair. And there's a computer terminal in the back of the room, and you can type in computer codes to unlock cheats or different modes. And so there's an overhead shooter that you can unlock where you're looking down from the sky and you're shooting up a bunch of zombies and people coming at you. Really cool.
Like Robotron, like old school.
Yes. Yeah, but it's in 3D.
Okay.
Using the engine. It's just taking you to these like little islands and then with bridges and then dudes rush you. So that's pretty neat. Yeah. You have any other questions about this? I don't know. I feel like you should absolutely get this game. If you've been on the fence about Call of Duty ever, go get this.
This is the one to get.
This is the one.
How long is the single player?
It took me 8 hours.
Yeah.
8 or 9 hours. Yeah.
Cool.
There's a lot of missions. The
thing that I've even Modern Warfare 2, I didn't really like the story that much, but it was still fun. Like it had good set pieces. I always play through these games at least twice. I played through Call of Duty 4, the first Modern Warfare, probably 4 or 5 times, just because I like that story so much. But I'm a glutton for punishment, so I always go back and play again on Veteran and do that and die millions of times.
I just remembered the guy's name, by the way, Viktor Reznov.
Okay.
There we go. Sorry.
Russian?
Russian.
He sounds Russian.
Yep, Viktor Reznov.
Russians in games now.
Yeah. But he's not an enemy. You're not trying to kill Viktor Reznov. Viktor Reznov is a friend.
Right. So, well, that's interesting because this takes place during the Cold War.
Yes. This is the story is very cool. This is It's
and the other thing that I read was that it has split screen multiplayer, so 2 people can play on one console, which is something that
true.
The old ones have not had.
And so many games are cutting that out. They're like, play online, but I don't want to have a new console. I want people over in the room playing with me.
Yeah. Couch co-op is the best.
Yes.
And I don't understand why people are throwing that out for online only. That's just stupid to me.
I don't get it.
Well, I'm looking forward to this game. Once my life is crazy right now with shipping out hundreds of time traveler calendars. But once that settles down, I'm definitely going to be picking this game up.
Awesome.
because I like Modern Warfare games or Call of Duty games. Sorry.
Yes.
This is not Modern Warfare.
Not Modern Warfare.
Yeah, not that at all. So, and it's cool that Treyarch has made such an awesome game.
Yeah, Treyarch.
I feel like people like to shit on them a lot.
People were always crapping on Treyarch, like, oh, they weren't as good, but that was an awesome experience. Like, one of the best cinematic gaming experiences I've ever had. So,
high praise.
For me, too, because I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan. I was really engrossed in the story and the characters and the moments, moment-to-moment basis. I will say the end was a tiny bit anticlimactic, whereas the other games, like the last second is like shooting a dude in the head in slow motion or something, and it's like, fuck yeah, I killed him. This game doesn't have that moment, but I'm not going to say what it is, but it has, it does something else, and I don't feel like it hit home like the other ones did. I give them credit for not doing the same thing, but I wish that it had more of a, let's finish with
the end of Modern Warfare had about 8 of those moments.
Yes.
Slow motion stabbing and slow motion shooting
and knife throwing.
It was all badass, it was ridiculous. Like everything else in that game just kind of reached this level of absurdity.
It did. But that is the end of our review of Call of Duty Black Ops. My name is Jack Bogdan.
My name is Alex Grinling.
If you want to find more of this show, you can do so at crunchtimeshow.com. We have more than 20 distribution centers. You can find all the information on that website. You can also find our second show, El Juego, which is 3 random words, 2 hosts, 1 game developer. We come up with a game in 15 minutes. It's a whole lot of fun. Sponsored by the IGDA. You can also find that at crunchtimeshow.com. And if you want to know when we're doing the show live, you can do so at twitter.com/jackbogdan and
twitter.com/gravitybomb.
Amazing. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you soon.